All right. Let us move on to fire. So the fire animal symbol is elk, who stands tall and proud, wears his horns on his head. Elk energy is muscular and warm, where bear energy is solid, fish energy is curvy and soft, elk energy is solid and svelte, solid and muscular. Remember, this is a fire element expression, so there is always a warmth or sometimes a real heat that comes out of the expression of fire. Elk is always moving, always on the move from one place to another. And elk shares through presence. I like to meditate on this in the form of the elk's horns, right? That by having those horns, they are sort of showing the world around them their passions. They're wearing their heart on their sleeve. They're putting it out on display. So those fire type folk share who they are, not necessarily through touch of earth or emotions, expressing emotions through water, but simply through their presence. They warm a room. The energetics, warm to hot and dry to oily. So when we get into the deep energetics of herbalism, we'll talk a little bit about this in our next session. The heat of a fire person can come through in dryness, or it can come through in a type of dampness, which we call oily. They are passionate people, expressive extroverts, always, impulsive and risk-taking. And their nature is transforming. They are changers. Just like when you put wood into a fire, the fire transforms that wood into charcoal. Similarly, fire type people are passionate transformers. They're always looking for ways to change themselves, to change the world. They are often philanthropists and volunteers. They're people who can perceive ways that things are not as good as they could be. And they often carry the power that it takes to transform those things. Fire patterns and wellness, passionate activist, and a narrative changer. Again, they see where there's too much darkness and they bring the light. They see where there's stagnation, where we've become settled into ways that are not healthy, and they bring warmth. They fire us up. They speak their mind with compassion and steadiness. Not something that's always easy for the fire type person. They recognize when patterns are becoming addictions. Addiction is a pattern we see a lot in fire type folks, with fire dominant folks. They cultivate physical and mental strength. It is easy for fire type people to focus on the physical. So in harmony, they're also focusing on the mental and the emotional. They feel hot emotions coming on and they know how to process them in a healthy way. They follow their heart. They trust their fire. And they use their power in service of those who don't have it, creating equity with their light and their heat. Fire patterns in disease of excess, reactive, angry, resentful, and full of rage, hot, fiery emotions, right? We can intuit this. They follow their addictive patterns. They focus on physical body without attention to mind or emotions. They would rather fight than talk, right? Fighting is very fiery energy. Physically, this excess condition can show up as inflammation, right? Heat in the body, ulcers, skin eruptions, heart problems, restless anxiety. And in deficiency, they become unemotional. There's not enough fire. Nothing really gets them fired up. They're careless about their physical appearance and their physical strength. It doesn't mean anything to them. They're unable to find things in life that they feel passionate about. Nothing flips their switch. They're uninspired and uncreative. The digestion, which is fire ruled, is slow. Congested skin and lymph. dull eyes. There's no fire in the eyes. There's no warmth on the skin. The digestion has no digestive fire, no power of transformation. They're unable to speak up, which is what fire people do. Their voice is quiet and buried. And they're unable to fight when a fight is called for, when it's the right thing to do. There's not enough fire for them to fight with. They cannot find their way in the dark. They don't carry their own torch of fire. They're lost without the help of others. So hopefully that helps you intuit a little bit about fire energy. And with that, we are going to return to our journey. We're going to take a journey into the fire. Warm it up a little bit. Again, begin by gently relaxing your body, your mind, emotions, and nervous system, slipping right back into the space we just were with our water journey. Taking a gentle breath, using your exhalation to release all stress and tension from your entire being. Allow your eyes to drift closed. Be supported by the land underneath you and the sky around you. Moving back into that sense of deep relaxation and stillness. Now, using your mind's eye, imagination, creative visualization, pretend, make-believe, or other non-usual senses, I invite you to call forth the image of a bonfire at a safe distance in front of you. This fire is built with sacred woods and emits light, warmth, fragrance, and power. You're invited to settle yourself in front of this fire, close enough to feel waves of heat as the flame leap, but far enough away to feel safe for yourself. You can see the wood glowing white and occasionally hear a pop as sparks fly up into the air. As you sit here in front of this bonfire, you feel your pores begin to open up to bring on a gentle sweat, clearing the heat from within while purifying and detoxifying your entire body. The heat is powerful, but not uncomfortable. The light of the flames dance around and make shapes against the background of darkness. They bring light to what is hidden and welcome you down paths rarely explored. Imagine raising your palms toward the fire like leaves towards the sun. Absorbing the power from the fire, you acknowledge the ways that fire burns in your own body, your metabolism, the light of your vision, your creativity, your passion, your sense of purpose, and your own power of transformation, taking one thing and turning it into something else through the might of fire within. The fire invites us into ritual. So consider one thing you'd be happy to release from your life right now. Anything goes. Don't overthink it. Whatever comes up first is usually right. So call a symbol of this thing into your mind's eye, something that represents it. A word, a sound, a symbol, and imagine tossing it with all of your own passion into the flames of that fire before you. As you do so, experience a sense of release and relief. Watching the symbol enter the flames, you see that burn into ashes, while the energy that sustained it is released back into the world to become something better, something brighter, something more harmonious. Your own act of fiery transformation. With our body warmed and our ritual of transformation complete, it is time to leave this sacred bonfire. So allow yourself to move back from the fire, back until it feels like a distant star in the sky. Continuing back until you return to your physical body as it rests in your safe space. Gently begin to rock tap, massage, and stretch to re-engage with your body. And when you're ready, allow your eyes to gently drift open to welcome you back into the world of 4 elements. We'll now take a minute or so to note or draw anything that you feel is relevant about your discussion with fire and your path working with fire.